Hello dear students. Good morning to all. I am your English teacher and today I welcome you to your English class. In today's class, we are going to start a new chapter from your course book. The name of the chapter is The Camel and the Trader. This is a story. So, please open your course book. Today we will read the story and we will try to understand the meaning. So, children, please open page number 2 of your course book. You will find the story on that page. I will first introduce the two characters of this story. The main characters of this story are number 1, Camel, number 2, Trader. Now, what is a camel? Camel is an animal that you can find mainly in deserts. Camel is the only means of transport in deserts. So, camel is called the sheep of desert. They are called the sheep of desert. Now, who is a trader? Trader is a person who buys and sells things. So, they are the two main characters of this story. So, let's start reading this story. I hope you have opened your book. I will read the story and then I will tell you the meaning. Let's start. A kind trader lives in a desert. A trader who is very kind in nature lives in a desert. Now, what is desert? Desert is a place full of sand and you can hardly find any tree there. It is mainly hot area. Now the trader lives in such a desert. Now the next line. The trader buys and sells many things. As I have told you, trader buys and sells things. He has a camel which carries his things. Now the trader has a camel which helps him to carry his loads. One night, it is cold in the desert. It is very strange that the desert, which is usually very hot during daytime, becomes very cold at night. So, the night is very cold in desert. The trader is sitting in his tent. So, the trader prefers to sit inside his tent. The trader says, "It feels warm here." The trader feels comfortable inside his tent. He is enjoying the warmth inside the tent. The camel says, "Master, may I put my head inside your tent? It is cold outside." Now the camel puts his head inside the tent and says if he can put his head inside the warm tent because it is very cold outside the tent. The trader says, "Yes, certainly." As we have read, the trader is very kind in nature. So he can feel the pain of his camel who is standing outside his tent. So he gives the permission to put his head inside his warm tent. Now what happens? Now I will move to page number 3. Please open page number 3. So now we will read page number 3. So in the story, the camel has put his head inside his master's tent. But after some times, what happens? Let's look. The camel says after some time, "Oh, master, I am freezing out here. Please let me put my shoulders in." So now the camel once more, he asks his master if he can put his shoulders inside the warm tent because he is freezing outside the tent. Now the master says, "Well, you may. I will make room for you." The trader, who is very kind, gives the permission to his pet camel. He is also ready to make room for his pet animal. Children, to make room is to manage space inside the tent. So, the master will manage some space for his camel so that he can enjoy the warmth inside the tent along with him. After some more time, the camel says, "Master, master, I am feeling very cold. Please let me put half my body in." So the camel is now taking advantage of the kindness of his master. He now wants to put half of his body inside the warm tent. The master is a little confused. He says, "Oh, well," and what happens next? Let's see and turn your page. We will now read page number 4. Now, the camel insists, "Please, master, please." Now the master says, "Oh, well, you can." So the master is now ready to let his camel put his body inside the tent. After an hour, now an hour has passed. The camel says, "Master, let me come into the tent. I cannot bear the cold." So now the camel wants to come inside the tent, to put his whole body inside the tent. But the master says, "Where will I go?" Now the master is confused. Where will he go if his camel put his whole body inside his tent? Now something really shocking happens. The camel replies, "Outside." The camel pushes his master out. The camel pushes his master out of his own tent so that he can enjoy the warmth. That is really very bad. So, this is the story. Now, what do we learn from this story? We will discuss. Now we will discuss what we learned from this story. The story is about a trader and a camel. The trader is very kind and helping. He is ready to sacrifice his own comfort so that the poor animal can enjoy the comfort inside the tent. But the camel is exact opposite of that. The camel is a bit selfish. He is taking the full advantage of his master's generosity. He is not ready to think about his master when he pushes his master out of his own tent. So, what do we learn? That we should help others, but we should not compromise our own comfort. We should learn to respect other people and not be like the camel in this story. So children, please remember this. Now, I will discuss the meaning of some important words from this book. Now, the first word is trader. The meaning of trader is a person who buys and sells things. The next word is desert. Desert is a hot, dry place where very few plants grow. And the last word is freezing. Freezing means very cold. So, these were some of the important words from this story. Children, don't forget to read your book. I hope the class was helpful for you. I will meet you in my next class. Till then, goodbye and take care.